should I think no, the pictures will be fine. I don't think there's any. It's okay. Please, Tumeje, the leader of the coalition, if you're confused about some of these names, please come. Please come. I thought everything is under but thank God that we have a father here who will help us do that. It's just a representation of some of the key heads here today. I'm so sorry. You see, Dr. Chide, you have to forgive me. Please come. You represent those in diaspora, and without you people, we can't even move anywhere. Please, I don't know it all. We're still evolving and learning. I'm so and thank you thank you. It's just a representation. That's okay. Dr. Mrs. Obaze, please just move your hand there to the knife. You hold it, and then I also want the national youth leader to join you, and then let Piro join you. So those are just a symbol. So the rest of us will just stretch our hands. No, you can stand there. You don't have to. So you do the honors of the cutting of the cake. Here's the microphone, Doctor. Doc, take the mic. Take.
At the spelling of Obi, you cut. O B I.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's the honor. The ritual is right and perfect. While you go to your seats, I'd like to hand over the microphone to one that I consider my father, a man who has mentored us, and it's so good for him to be here at this juncture to both give his speech and also talk to us, because part of why we're here today is that mending, about the way forward for both the movement, the party, and us as a people. Thank you, sir. Please, can we receive Dr. Obaze here today? Please put your hands together.
Thank you, Dr. Mo. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't expecting to speak here today. I wasn't even sure I was supposed to be here today. But it's a pleasure to be here and to celebrate a true son of Nigeria. In the fullness of time, when the history of Nigeria is written, when some of us will be long gone, our great-great-great-grandchildren will look back and say there was a country that was in turmoil, a country, Peter the Rock, who changed everything. If we don't celebrate anything, let's celebrate. Nigeria, 5 years ago, Nigeria 2 months ago, it's not the Nigeria we have today. The Nigeria we have today is different. And it's all because of one man who stood up, had the confidence, had the courage to challenge the establishment. And those of us, or maybe a bit of courage, followed him. And the story was told. Who is Peter Obi? Whose labor? 4 men in a room tweeting. I was one of those people. So it's a true story. So you go from 4 men in a room tweeting to a dozen men and women, to 1,000, to 100, to millions, to the point where the whole world is saying, who is this man Peter Obi in Nigeria? And that tells the story. So if for nothing else, we should be able to celebrate that individual. Don't think he's done all that by himself. It is by the grace of God. And it is also because he looks into every room he walks into. And there are women, there are men, there are children whose hope and aspirations rest on the fact, at least they believe, that this man is our hope, is our salvation for Nigeria. I can tell you this. Peter Obi is not the Messiah. Peter Obi is not God. Peter Obi is not a saint. But circumstances, like you would have read in the Bible, after 40 years of pestilence, somebody comes up, whether it's Moses, whether it's Joshua, whether it's Joseph, at some point in history, somebody steps up because God has anointed the person. Say, go and get my people out of Egypt. So that's, to me, that's who Peter Obi is. The fact that he's humble is from God. The fact that he's stingy, and he's stingy, I can tell you that, is a grace from God. The fact that he can manage resources well is also a grace from God. The fact that he has boundless energy is grace from God. Sometimes those of us around him kind of try to match up with him. It's very difficult, I can tell you that. Because the amount of energy he has, if you put two horses together, they don't have it. And he will tell you that. I used to say to people, don't give Peter Obi money. If you want to give Peter Obi something, find 6 hours to add to 24 hours to him. So he will have 30 hours to operate. That's what he needs. So we are celebrating him. This time yesterday he was in Abuja doing a lot of things. By 8 p.m., he had gone back to Lagos. By 8 o'clock this morning, he was back in Abuja on his way to Jos. Five hours ago, he was in Abuja on his way to Lagos. As I was leaving here, he was in Lagos. God knows where else he's going to show up. And that's the man. And that's the kind of person you need to run this country. I can tell you a joke. Maybe, I don't know if they bugged his phone, whether they tapped his phone, whether they heard him talking about it. But this is the reality. You know, when we started the campaign, we had a plane called the Obedient. And Peter would say to me, Senior, sit down, let's plan tomorrow. We're going to leave Abuja at 6 in the morning. I want us to have breakfast at 9 o'clock in Owerri. By 11, we should be in Enugu. From Enugu, we're going to fly to Makurdi. By lunchtime, we should be in Kogi or somewhere else. And he says this, you write it down. And that's the way it goes. And when they realize that if they let him keep that plane, he will be all over Nigeria, 36 states in 3 days. They said, no, we have to ground this plane. And they grounded the plane. It was out of fear. Out of fear. Because if they had let him keep that plane, Labour Party, Peter Obi, was the only party that campaigned in the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. APC did not do it. And PDP did not do it. So what should we celebrate here? diligence, courage, humility, honesty, compassion. But more importantly, you celebrate a leader who is not afraid to learn. One of the greatest strengths that Peter Obi has is that if you tell him, Oga, this thing you want to do, it is that mechanic there that knows how to do it best. He will say, let's go and see the mechanic. If you don't want to go, he will go by himself. He will get the mechanic, learn how to do it, and he will come and do it. And people will be clapping. And he will tell you, you think I know it, I learned it from a mechanic. It's all part of the humility. There's a joke. It's really something that happened. When he was governor of Anambra State, there was a man who was a bit mental in a place called Opiweka. And when the governor will pass in, the man will say, Peter, Peter, Peter. So sometimes His Excellency will stop and the man will come. One day the man said to him, there are a lot of thieves around here. You have to get rid of them. And the governor said to him, how? He said, I leave. They take something. They have run into the army barracks. If you want to stop it, fence the army barracks. They won't have any place to run into. So Peter went, found money, went to President Jonathan, or President Obasanjo then, and asked him for permission to fence the army barracks in Onitsha. He said, I don't want the federal government to pay, I want to pay. So Obasanjo said, what's your problem with the army barracks? He said, okay, I have my own reason, but let me fence it first and see. And it cost him a lot of money. And the crime rate dropped drastically. He cleared up the place. And after that, shortly after that, Peter was impeached. As you know, he was impeached. So he left. All the elbows, all the mad people came back, took over the places and the parks. So after he came back from impeachment, Governor, welcome back. When you left, all these mad people came back. Now that you're back, please chase them away. Now, here's a madman. So he's a man that listens, and he's a man that because he listens, he's able to do a lot of things. It's not accidental that he ended up in Labour Party. He could have gone to any other party, and it would have worked out. But I think it's an act of God that he ended up in Labour Party, and we are glad that he did. I listened to my brother Mo talk about the difference between the party and between the obedience. That is something we recognized a long time ago. That is not everybody that is obedient is a member of the Labour Party. And it's actually not everybody that is a member of the Labour Party that is obedient. We have to bear that in mind. But you have to make up your mind where you want to belong. He says something that resonated with me. If you're obedient, you must have an obeisance. What did I say? If you're an obedient, you must have an obeisance. And if you have an obeisance, you must behave like Obi. And if you do that, there's no problem. No. I am very tolerant of our brothers and friends in Labour Party who still haven't gotten the handle of where we are going. And people ask me, why are you that tolerant? I say, okay, let me give you an example. Labour Party is like a man who had a Volkswagen Beetle. The Yoruba people call it Sokinso. Enter, let me enter. Parked in front of his house. He carries his wife and children. He wakes up one morning. The Volkswagen is gone. And there's a G-Wagon there. And they say, here's the key, it's your own. G-Wagon, it has air conditioner. He has class. He has television. He has everything. So the man is driving the G-Wagon until it's time to service the vehicle. He goes to mechanic and says, "Oh, guy, you're bill at 500,000. He said, "I better carry the car, go. Let me go back to Volkswagen." That's Labour Party for you. We went from Sokinso to a big party. It's like going from one room to a mansion. It takes a lot of time for the adjustment. And it takes patience and tolerance for the adjustment. And that is what Peter Obi has. Tolerance. You will never hear him raise his voice. You will never hear him complain. But I can tell you something. Nothing that happens around him escapes him. He knows those who are working hard. He knows those. He will tell you, you see that man, he's going to cheat me, but I'm going to give him the money. Because it's only in politics that somebody's about to cheat you, and you still give him the money. It's only politics. So we are celebrating him. He's done his bit today. He issued a statement 2 days ago saying, please don't celebrate too much. Don't do anything big. As of last night, there were supposed to be like 15 advertisements in newspapers. They were all pulled down. Each one of those advertisements cost about ₦1 million. And the people started pulling them. They just say, we had this radio, but we're pulling it down out of respect. If that money goes to a motherless baby's home, that's fine. If it goes to an orphanage, that's fine. If it goes to the basic philosophy of Peter Obi, be kind to one another. And I think that's what it's all about. And for those of us that are left, I know people ask me what is happening to Obedient Movement. And I tell them Obedient Movement is well and alive. It is well and alive. We have discussions, and I say to Oga, most people in Obedient Movement think that you're the one who kept them down, not to cause trouble, not to protest, not to do anything. He says yes, because like President Jonathan said, the presidency of Nigeria is not worth shedding a drop of blood, not talking about life. The thing we are looking for, we will get, and we'll get back. It is interesting that those who stole somebody's mandate are the ones who are fretting and talking about anarchy. We are the ones who should be talking about anarchy. We are the ones who should be saying, if we don't get our mandate, anarchy. But they've started saying there'll be anarchy. So when the day comes, we'll meet them at the junction called anarchy, and we'll see who will stand. Because at the end of the day, the blind man, the deaf, and the people who can see and hear knew that there was an election. That election was not won by APC. That election was not won by PDP. That election was won by Labour. So they hijacked it, and they want us to beg. No. We are due process people. So we are going to go through courts and recover what belongs to us. Because it is only through that due process. Once you do it and you set the laws, next time nobody. If you go there, they say, don't try. APC tried it. It didn't work. Go and do election. If you lose, go home. If you win, take the thing. But if we rush it now, they will say, well, we were not sure who won. We won. They fought. No. They stole it. And they knew that they stole the mandate. They should have the good spirit and the conscience to return the mandate where it rightly belongs. Because that is the only way there's going to be peace. So when they start talking about anarchy, if the court reverses the law, the same people that say they won the election, they are going to do protests. When the people who lost the election, who you stole the election, is not protesting. Don't you see this condition that make crayfish bend is there. Eh? They are angry. They are nervous. But no problem. Today is for Peter Obi. And for all of you who are Kennedy said, and most something about me. No. I have one philosophy in life. So as I stand here, came here because I think my coming here would add value, no matter how small. I am in labor because I believe my being in labor will add value. Most people don't know. We were in PDP. I went to a meeting, I came back, I said to Oga, in PDP anymore. We have to go. He looked at me. I went to the room, drafted my that he'll be convinced that there's no room for PDP. It's all about fairness and equity. And that is why, and I'm glad our chairman is here in this party. There must be fairness. It takes courage to be fair. I can tell you this because I've said it. There are people today who are in labor, who are elected. The ticket. I told senators, members of the House, but because of the condition we found ourselves, we gave people, we made placeholders, and they held on to the seat. That's fine. Somewhere down the line, within the next 12 months, in this party, we're going to have people who can add value. And people who, like Peter Obi, if they tell you to stand, you stand. If they tell you they are coming, they'll come. If they tell you let's go, you know it's time to go. So for now, let's tolerate each other. Because we have a bigger battle to fight. When we get back our mandate, we'll reorganize our party and we'll reorganize the country. Thank you all and God bless you.
Please, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Honestly, this is just this. It's such an energy and a spirit I can't even explain because you just did. Thank you for coming. Your coming didn't just add to it. It wrapped it up. Exactly what we wanted to discuss. But while you're here, sir, I want to call the 6 people. I know the chairman spoke about it because it's part of the value. The 6 people that represented the groups that chairman. So all the IDPs, please come out. You will not have, I know what you went through today. What we want with you is stand here because we need to just put that in photograph. You will not be able to speak, but we need to symbolize it by your standing. 6 people, please come out. Where is Ned? Please just come out. Chairman, you need to join them there. I need Chike to also join them there, representing that. Please join them there. 6 people, please come out. We're saying this on camera. They went out today. They raised close to ₦1 million, and they divided the value into goods. They bought things, went to IDP camps, went to hospitals, as orphanages. Sir, I didn't go with them. While I'm here, the hospital in Gwagwalada, a senior matron has been trying to call me. She said, people who are here distributing all over the place. It's right here in my phone. You to Gwagwalada. Senior matron Joy Ogedembe called me. Her text is still here. This is the value. This is what Peter Obi wanted. And this is what you've done. This is why we are gathered here today, is to report to the world what Mr. Peter Obi wants. And this is why we're here. You know? And this is so beautiful. The moment we're done with these pictures, we're going to have the all convenience people come up and take a picture with the dignitaries before they go. Where? You know, his birthday. This is what they do. Those of you in the congregation, please applaud this noble gesture and act that was done today. Thank you and God bless you. We will continue to do that. God bless you, man. Please, while you go, Mr. Baze, still keep standing. I like all the... please come. We're in the shed. Don't worry. Just keep this. Don't worry. Please, just take your cue. Just take your cue. I will. While we do this, Barrister Juliet, I know you were supposed to speak. It's important to say this. I know you're humble, you're patient, you're a true obedient to the core. You followed us and you're now fully a member of the party. We recognize you. Can we appreciate Barrister Juliet? She was supposed to speak here today, but she's here. We recognize you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please, Mama, you should be way up there anyway. Okay, we're going to have the last session of photograph by the CSG, is what they call them. CSG members, please. CSG members. Are CSG members here? Let's have Barrister Henry, please come up. Mr. Peter Piper, please come up. GB Chris, please come up. I want to welcome, please sir, please come. He's a member of the, it's in your committee. I'm trying to remember his name there. Please come. Mr. Chike, you are not supposed to sit down. You're supposed to be part of the protocol throughout for the sessions. Okay. Thank you. Well, we'll do the last picture. Please, Chike, wait. The rest can go. Dr. Piper, wait. Yet. And Ambassador, come. Okay, I'm coming. Last picture. Juliet, where are you? Come. Ambassador, come too. Come. It's the last. I'm coming. Just hold on. Just hold on. Come. One person can be there, another one can be here, so we can spread around. Okay. Diogo, you're not supposed to run. Piro, why are you running to? You're supposed to be part of this. Piro, you are permanently here. You're not supposed to run. And while standing here, we want to say to the whole world, to the people who are watching from America, to Zambia, to Ghana, USA, people who are watching right now in the UK, we want to say that we've come to the end of celebrating just this occasion. All the people you have seen from Charlie Boy and everybody, we want to say a big thank you. There's a meeting going on right now in Owerri, in Lagos, and in several other places, including the places that Peter Obi has gone to also spend time. The Doctor, you're supposed to be here anyway. Please come. This is the end. We're coming to the end. But from the federal capital, where this is ground zero, where our mandate is being recovered, we want to say to you that we're keeping to the tenets. And in the words of Dr. Obaze, we're going to stay true to type. In the words of Dr. Peter Piper, in areas where we haven't become, we will become, so that at the end of the day, we will achieve where the children who will be born, corruption will be alien to them. These kinds of treachery, words that are spoken about people doing good that will cause anarchy will be alien to them. Everything that is known today about Nigeria will be completely alien to the generations that will come. Thank you, Mr. Peter Obi, for standing. Thank you for giving us the courage.
Small size. I say you
So proud of him.
Thank you, Mama.
Yes. Before you go.
Thank you.
Okay.